Well met, lords and ladies, Jacob Butter speaking, and welcome back to another episode of... It's no secret that AI is looking to become the big controversial topic for the next decade, at least in the spheres of media, but probably also elsewhere. Ranging, of course, from the predictive text that seems to be doing the job of writers, in fact, taking the job from writers, in fact, as the source, and also, and also in this case, performances, taking those things from actors who, up until about the time that I was in college studying for acting, was deemed as one of the jobs that could not be replaced by robots. And lo and behold, here we are. But within the realms of the gacha community itself, where obviously voice acting has been a thing for 4 years now. Well, it's been a thing for longer than that. You're welcome. But I mean, the but like the community that they rose 4 years ago and has maintained itself ever since. And for better or worse, there are things that can be certainly improved and modified in the way that we make voice acted gacha series or the way that directors, actors, everyone conducts themselves. AI, of course, if you take my opinion for it, is not an appropriate substitution. So for this review today, I'm here to see how something that's proudly declares itself to be AI, uh, that conducts the performances, how well it came out, and therefore decide and figure out how much trouble are we actually in. Will there be a point in the near future where the things become indistinguishable? Will legislation and just basic general ethics catch up with us before that happens? The future looks bleak, but how's the present? Let's find out today
In
as we watch
this
Psycho. Oh, that was a bit loud. I forgot to turn it down. As it seems from people in the chat, it looks like everyone is outraged by the title, which is why I put it there. Apparently, there's a lot of swearing in this video, so that's also worth bearing in mind. And BB is saying to everyone, remember, don't go to the actual original video, download it, enjoy this review or something so they don't get the views. Steal from the thief, poison the AI system and let it eat itself. Now, of course, in Gacha Review, normally I say, by all means, check out the video in the description. That's what it's there for. I'm not going to say that I solely advocate what BB is suggesting, but I'm also not going to dissuade anyone from doing so. Take that for how you will. And hopefully my reason has become clear from that intro I just did. The video comments on the original video are wrong. This is not Netflix worthy. I did see some comments saying that that this would have been better with normal voice actors. So I'm hoping that that comes across. Absolutely. Okay. So I guess with that context in mind, back to what I was saying. Are we in trouble? Let's find out. Without further ado, on with the review.
chaotic world, we all wear masks. We hide behind our smiles, our secrets, and our fears.
Well, the creator is hiding behind something, that's for sure. Okay, so for starters, it seems like the first performance itself, I mean, obviously this is a very monotone delivery on purpose, but you can still tell that the AI is trying to sound a little bit more human than just, everyone hides behind a mask. This is the society that we live in, that kind of thing. So it sounds a bit more natural. I still think, I don't know why, but whenever I hear like AI voices, they still sound like there's like a bit of I don't know what to call it really. Was it reverberation? I'm not really sure, but there's some like not even raspiness, not to sort of describe it, but there is something in my mind that, tells me that this is something that has been generated. But as long as that persists for, I say don't fix that.
We're bound by the ties of the past. haunted by the choices we make, and driven by the hope of a better future.
They say this is Netflix worthy. We've held on the same shot for most of the time. It's been blur. It's had motion blur on it, despite not having any motion to it. And here we are, cutting to basically almost the exact same thing. Uh-huh. Hey, everyone tries to read the Gacha mini-movie lines. Well, yes, but the good voice actors succeed at doing so.
This is my story of how I became psycho.
Okay, hold on, I've got to set this down a bit. Oh, main character's called Aiden. He's gonna love that. I was talking to Aiden about this, deciding what today's review was going to be, and I found this as I was searching around on call with him. Okay, see, here's the thing. Now we've got like a lot. We've got some static filter on top of it, and a little bit more motion blur when there's actual motion. This intro isn't half bad. Now that we're actually getting into the meat of things, or well, I suppose on a technical level at least. Okay, you know what? That's something. And the custom backgrounds and the lighting. Naturally, I have to mention both of those. Absolutely. Not so sure if I would call it amazing as of right now, but it's definitely competent. That being said, I don't know why he's convulsing like that. Okay, an attempt at a low down angle. All right. Oh, we have the wow, I haven't seen that pose for a while. The striking a pose and they're like that like that thing. The sticking out of the tongue. That kind of went the way of the dinosaurs once Gacha heat started to die down. Fortunately so.
I wake up every ordinary day, just like this one, to find myself with a deep yearning, a desire to find my purpose in life.
Okay, this actually sounds like a robot trying to become human. Like, that's not the idea, like, setting a purpose in life. It's like the movie AI, the Spielberg and Kubrick collaboration. Except that was supposed to sound monotone, but also, trying to think, oh, how's that going to go? I don't know. That's a good question. Why do you sleep with glasses? I think we asked that in a previous video too. That seems to be a common mistake. I don't know why.
Nothing but a fine drink helps the day be a little better. And setting
Nothing but a fine drink. Why do you have like a lollipop in your mouth? I guess that might have been a cigarette, because that's what they tend to use in your mouth for only a second, then spat it out again. Also, I love how the happy pills thing is just a torch. You have the capability to scribble on happy pills onto a moving image, but not to crop out the part that would not look like a box of pills. Really? I did it once, pretending to be Harry Potter was horror for a little kid. You're referring to the sleeping with glasses thing, I see. Gotcha, become human. That's what this seems to be so far. To help see in your dreams, obviously. You know what? Sure.
those depressing thoughts of mine to a pause.
Did she just eat the box? She's not holding the box anymore. She ate the box.
Others wake up thinking about.
Not eating cardboard and not putting on their glasses they didn't sleep with. That's what they think of.
Perfect life with their perfect friends, and they oh shit, my meetup. Oh goodness.
Did the AI just whisper a swear word? I don't know if that's like to do with like volume control, if there's like in a different setting that you can put on one of those. Naturally, I have never indulged in trying to figure out how to manipulate AI voices, because I have had no reason to ever do so. But that is one thing that I wonder, I suppose. Anywho. My profile picture is a boy, but in real... Wait, hold on. I've got this. Add some reverb. My profile picture is a boy, but in real life, I'm a girl. Hold on. Got one more thing. Autotune. I'm wearing glasses and I don't sleep with glasses. Oh no. I am the edgy main character and the only person who is clearly depressed in this world. Ah, it won't turn off. It's stuck on autotune. Ah, thank goodness. It's like, I don't want to be stuck as a robot myself. That was just for the bit. I am a human, I swear. Cardboard, so nutritious. So full of protein.
I hope Carol won't mind that I'm a bit late. I mean, she's been late lots of times, so she can't really have a say.
I can't imagine how angry Carol must be. Main character, you are late. I am very angry at you.
Princess Carol?
What on earth is going on there?
It's cold.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be late.
Haha, you're an hour late again.
I was kidding about the emotions there, but no, that seems to be it. Haha, you're late again. Your coffee is cold. Water is wet.
I know.
Okay, stuff happens. By the way, speaking of stuff happening, you
Is this really what I do every day? A coffee at my favorite coffee shop? It's nice, I guess, but sometimes
Is this anything this is what I do? A thing that I chose for myself to enjoy that I'm not forced to do? You could just pick a different venue. Go for a walk.
different-
I don't know.
life.
Make sure you click the I'm not a robot button and click all the squares with traffic lights. That's why sometimes I start these streams late. I have to answer a captcha every time.
Be like those guys. Oh, to be young, gay, love.
Kate, where the fuck are you drowsing?
I saw that comment as well. Oh, to be young, gay love. That seems like an okay. That line doesn't sound like. Oh, it doesn't. Not it sounds like it was delivered by an AI because it was. It sounds like it was written by an AI. To be young, gay love. What does that mean? You mean what do you mean to say like to be young, gay, and in love? To be young and in gay love? Like this, they're missing some like prepositions or something there. I don't know. Of course, there's another thing with human voice actors. They tend to pick up on the mistakes that you make in the actual in the scripts. But I would also say if you have if you have a static image and that's how you're doing the lip movements, then you would think, I don't know, maybe how about just like retype that line into the AI and have it say it again but properly? I don't know.
Away too.
Oh, sorry, whoops.
We should probably pay now.
This is my last money
I'm sorry, did she spend all day at a coffee shop? Why has the lighting gone to
that I
sunset
brought
now?
with me.
They were complaining about the coffee getting cold before. Coffee gets cold very quickly. It doesn't take hours.
Oh God, those goddamn birds. I hope you can pay.
Oh, I thought you would be paying, so I kind of spend my last on this super cute Gacha purse.
Do you maybe have some emergency?
Yeah, maybe show the gacha. Oh, well, I guess you're not going to show the gacha purse. That would have actually been
Money?
entertaining. Fine.
No, I don't ever have any emergency money. A whoopsie.
Good going.
A whoopsie te. Okay, so once again, if one is to write something for an AI to read out, not that I recommend it, but again, from a reviewer's perspective, if you're going to write something using AI, bear in mind it's going to literally read out tee hee 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 or te in this case. It's not going to know that that's meant to be laughter. It's sort of like how when I type scripts, I tend to just write the word sigh, and 9 out of 10 voice actors that I've worked with have figured out that, you know, just to do a sigh when they see that. That's like an agreement that we have as humans and we can auto replace. AIs are literal. They're not going to do that. They're just going to be like, sigh, when will you ever change? And Who does that benefit in this case? So if you're going to do that, I don't know, find some way for the AI to be programmed to sigh. I don't know. Do something. Or in this case, laugh. Obviously, that's an example. The sigh was an example I came up with. I don't know. This is going to be in my nightmares forever. This is the reason that I didn't use your text-to-speech videos in anything, Dylan, the ones that you sent me, like, way back in the day, for a very similar reason. And also, don't worry, Oompa Loompa, I'm glad that you, returned. Welcome back. This video is far worse than the last one that you saw. It's taking iced coffee to the next level.
Carol, I don't want to spend the rest of my day washing dishes.
Let's make a run for it. Don't be like that. Just run for it. They won't notice $10 missing. Seriously, come on.
$10 missing. Again, $10. This, like, I understand when people like miss out some line, a line in a script or something like that, and they can't give us a direct to retake it. But in this case, you can hear it back when you're editing the video together. This clearly, any voice-acted project, AI or otherwise, needs to be synced up in post-production, which means you need to be able to hear it back. Otherwise it's going to be out of sync, and this isn't out of sync, which means the person must have heard the lines back and must have known they were wrong, and just didn't care. I guess what could I expect from someone who uses AI instead of actual people? Not caring must be, the MO here.
Like you said, you don't want to wash dishes, right? So...
Fine, whatever, Carol.
They're not even running! How is this Netflix worthy? You can't even manage to make characters run? Netflix would throw this in the trash.
Watch it, pal.
Amazon Prime would take it, though. That's because Amazon Prime takes anything. That's kind of how the system works. The music choice is terrible. I'd argue that the music choice actually fits the AI just because, like, it's like, I'm your best friend, I've known you forever. Like, it actually, it matches the delivery and the performances.
Girl, did you just see that? That bitch over there be giving me the death glare. I say we go and beat the shit out of him.
Oh, no need. It's a busy street, and if anything, we should apologize for bumping into him.
Is it a busy street? Also, I just realized something. Look at the background. Look at the background of this.
I know you're a sweetheart, but
The background is moving from right to left, but the characters are stationary. Like, if you're going to do like a camera effect or something, you have to move the characters as well at hopefully at the same pace. That's why I say pre-render your scenes. That probably also means you can free up space on your phone if you're doing this with mobile gacha. I imagine if you render it first, do a non-angled version, keep that somewhere safe, get rid of the other files, bring them back. I think maybe that would work better. You might be able to process much faster. I don't know. But in this, and I've seen when I see moving backgrounds and stuff in gacha videos, it tends to be the ones where someone is trying to zoom in or out and they haven't pre-rendered the scene, so they're zooming in the characters and zooming in the background and trying to match it up without like doing like any calculations or seeing the numbers that would imply the percentages, anything like that, because the editing software they use might not be advanced enough to do that. Mine is, but I know that that's not a case for everyone. So again, I say pre-render those ones, but in this case, that's a mistake that shouldn't even be made. Like, this is the same mistake that I made when I did the first episode of Mutant Girl, back when I was just learning how to use keyframes. So yeah, basically, don't be like me 5 years ago is my main point. Where's Ghost knows how to talk trash about character designs. And if you have something to say about the designs, then go ahead. That's the one thing I tend to not have too many comments on. Although I do say the human number 2 over here, with the band-aid on where her nose would be, that's also a thing that I saw a lot of the time back in the early days of gacha, and is something I also don't particularly miss. It's not that it doesn't bother me as much as eye patches do because it's more of a subtle detail, but it's still a thing that does not happen with most people, and so I was I was worried about why we were seeing it. But anyway, yeah, I'm not doing gacha cringe. I had to put that there. Just saying. What? Are you referring to what I said before about your old text-to-speech? No, never mind. Oh, I just realized that's the wrong Dylan, isn't it? My bad. I was thinking of Dylan Wiley. Anyway, do you think the creator should have used attribute to voice that? Josh, that was like the first thing that I commented on in this video. Absolutely. And in no circumstance do I advocate for using AI voice actors. I mean, I had a problem back when it was just text to speech, and some people would just use text to speech for the performances. Obviously, that's not like as bad ethically because the text to speech is they actually just use the person who consent to that audio, and then they weren't able to make them sound decent for everything because the words were spliced together. That's kind of what you would expect. But nowadays, of course, you have the ethical issue of taking like samples of actual people and then trying to make them sound human as well without their consent, and that's why there's such a controversial thing. But even back when it was just text to speech, and there was not no ethical implications there. I still didn't like it because I still preferred to hear actual human voices. I must say, I was concerned about when I started this video whether or not the technology had got to the point where you couldn't tell them apart anymore. I very much think that is not the case. You can absolutely still tell that this is AI. And in that, as far as that goes, I like to keep the technology at this particular level. That's wishful thinking. It's not going to stay that way, obviously. However, uh, if we're talking about just this video in general, again, real voice actors all the way. There are plenty of us out there. So many gacha voice actors looking for roles all the time. There's no reason you couldn't have found someone. Oh, well. Oh, speaking of voice, I think it's sort of is. Oh, yeah, because I talked about that a couple of days ago. I said check out the ones that I had been certain FNAF characters and such. I'm glad that you enjoy my performances. So yeah, I guess I can say that as a gacha voice actor myself, I'm a bit. I could be interpreted as biased, but I mean, even without thinking about me as a voice actor, I mean, as like a viewer, a spectator, an enjoyer of gacha content, still prefer the humans. Yeah. Why AI voices? Why AI? Why AI?
Don't you defend that pig.
Oh my god, running from that cafe? That's the most illegal thing
Okay, hold on a second. I'm just realizing something. As going back to what I was saying about pre-rendered backgrounds for a second. I said like the zoom in and out is usually wrong. That's actually done decently here. They zoomed in and out at the same pace. The background is shrinking at the exact same rate as the characters are as the camera positions, which means that this was a pre-rendered scene, but it was pre-rendered with the background moving from right to left, which makes it seem like it was much more a deliberate idea. Or again, they just didn't care enough to redo it, re-render the thing. Or I don't know, maybe they just deleted the file beforehand. I don't really know. Humans have souls and feelings, AI don't. You need humans to show emotion. That's why you do gacha films for voice acting, because they're special, I think, at least. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say restrict yourself to that. I mean, I voice acted for Minecraft stuff before and for radio. That's actually how I started. But uh, but certainly with how the gacha voicing community has been up until again recently, yeah, there is something special to the idea of a bunch of people coming together, even if they don't always make the commitment that you like hope that they would. There's still a motivation to bring some ideas to life. And I'll say most of the gacha stuff I've auditioned for, that didn't scout me personally. The ones that I've like actively searched for and clicked on have been ones where I was intrigued by the basic synopsis that was given of what the series was going to be. I was like, yeah, I want to be a part of that. I'm a bird coming to McDonald's. I'm a fly off the roof. What? I get that. I think the creator is shy people hearing their voice. Okay, so what? Okay, here's another thing about that. Actually, the creator doesn't need to voice act in their own project. I mean, I've again from going back into the early days of Gacha, almost no one revealed their voice. There was a trend a while ago called the Hi trend, which just HI, just like you're saying hi. Um, and the whole premise of that was people doing voice reveals. I made fun of that at one point and did like the high trend as a joke because I voice revealed in my very first video on the channel. So everyone knew my voice already. I know I'm the exception as far as gacha tubers go for the most part. I'm one of the exceptions. But again, with gacha voice actors, a lot of the time, the people doing the main roles and such aren't, or any roles at all, the aren't necessarily the creators of the video. I remember that when I first started the Mutant Girl, I was at one point going to be the voice of Julius, the main male of the series, but then one of my childhood friends wanted to do that role, so I was like, yeah, okay, you can be Julius because I told him about that before, but he then forgot about it and said, hey, I want to be Julius. Like, all right, fine, sure. I most of the time in early Mutant Girl did bit roles where so I wouldn't have to necessarily cast extras. So you could hear me like as Mr. Grayson or something. And so I'm doing like some sort of cartoonishy voice. Something that's very distinguishable, so if I do another character, I can be someone completely different. And it will not sound distracting in the slightest. At least hopefully anyway. So I do that. But even then, if other people had shown up for that, I would have just the role to them. I did that with Coach Poole. I was going to be Coach Poole in a later episode, but at one point, my friend Leon Tarkshina said, "Hey, I want to be in one of these," and so he became the voice of Coach Poole. So, and I think that also applies to like the video we watched last time. Actually, the Royal Fairy Academy, same DNA as not. I don't think voices in any of the characters. So it's very much the case you just be like the director or the writer, the editor, creator of any sort, and not have to voice yourself. The point is to try and find people who do want to voice act and are willing to help you out. Now, in the case of Mutant Girl, it was just because there was no voice community back then. It was just a group of friends. I scrambled around for a bit trying to message some of my less busy actor friends, or the or some people I hadn't like maybe I talked to in some time. And then as it turned out, some of the people who were active on Discord offered to help out and do multi role. So that's how I did it. But nowadays, there's a whole community that is just again very much looking for roles to do, and so there's no reason to be like you don't have to be in it yourself. Yeah, Grayson. I did that because I wanted to say to UKW, you thought that I sounded like much younger in that video. That was a voice I was putting on. That was not what I sounded like back in the day necessarily. That was very much a character I was doing. Uh Reason why I limited myself, it takes longer to do voice act series than films because well, most of my series are quite a few characters, so I can find enough voice actors. That is true. The more characters you have, the more you're going to fill up those, which is where multi-role comes in. The Mutant Girls sort of had a similar issue at the start. There weren't that many people who offered to voice act, so that's why I started doing the bit roles so I could actually fill in those people who might be as someone else. Then again, some people did like 2 or 3 roles, and that really helped out. So it really comes down to that. Although I have said that like the Legend of Zelda movie that you did, that got plenty of voice acting applications. Actually, no, because I was one of them. So that's that's one example where that turned out for you. But then again, I know how difficult that process can be because yes, I know that finding voice actors, if you want to like have them come to you, that takes a bit more patience, and also like having them submit lines and such. That's when maybe I can see the unwillingness to wait around for people and that's also why it's tempting to voice characters yourself. Aiden is the opposite to me in this regard, where he is in most of the videos, the rest of the series that he started up until a certain point. But when he first began doing gacha videos, he was the he was the lead role in everything that he did because he's his most reliable voice actor, and so he knew that he was going to be able to do that. The most that he ventured out of that was being the best friend character and running with you and letting me do the lead role because he knew that I wasn't going anywhere. But even then, that took some time, and it very much could have gone the other way. We could have had the opposite roles, and that would have probably not affected the story too much. Actually, now I think about it. But yeah, so I do understand the principle of that, and I guess with people above getting to be Emil, there are advantages of voicing your own projects because as the director, you can decide like what extra sounds to add, how long you want to drag out a terrible joke for, how crazy you want this particular character to be that you have in your mind. So I see the advantages, but my point with the whole, being too shy to hear someone's voice, it's not necessary. As a gacha tuber, you do not have to speak necessarily, but if you go to a Velocity series, get some voice actors. Anyway, can I voice 5 different characters in where a series has like 15? I already do that. In Fallen Angels, I am Harvey, Zack, Thanatos, a couple of guards. Who else did I voice for? I think I've got to up like 10 different roles or something, depending on like most of them were extras. But Harvey and Zack, at least of the 2 leads, Thanatos is reoccurring, so that's at least 3 already. But yeah, depending on like how distinct they are, by all means, I can go for 5. Whenever I do auditions, most of the time what I do is I audition for every available character that I think I can pull off and let the director decide which ones to cast me in because that's what an audition is. I know some people will try to will think to themselves they can only just go for one role. But unless there's a rule that specifies that in a gacha voice acting server, which there are sometimes, but very rarely, unless there is that rule, I see no reason why you can't just apply for everything. I did have one director shyly tell me at one point that I couldn't be everyone because they were trying to be fair and cast a bunch of other people at the same time. So I'd only be one character. I was like, yeah, it's okay. Just pick one for me. that's what I'm here for. Can't remember how many characters I've voiced in Fallen is. Yeah, me neither. But I think I counted at some point. But there's definitely quite a few. I'm just not remembering off the top of my head. But yes, if you need multiple, if you do end up making a voice acting call for anything, most of the time I'll do everything. That's what I did for Zelda. I went for I went for I went for Ganondorf, I went for Link, and I went for Dark Link. Even though those were basically the same, but at least in the samples that I found. Yeah, I got one of those, and other people got the others, and that's how that goes. I'm not disillusioned.
I've ever done. Do you think we're gonna go to prison now?
Don't worry. Nobody's gonna arrest us. And especially not you, sugar baby. You really are just an innocent little girl.
Ha. I really can't go anywhere with you without there being chaos.
They don't call me chaotic Carol Mommy for nothing.
Carol,
What?
nobody calls you that. And where did
Yeah, thank goodness for that. The background has gone from sometimes is still and sometimes moves now. It's all I can focus on now.
Who knows? Maybe my dating life isn't as empty as you think it is.
Okay, when you see this this panning here, when the characters are moving slightly slower, that's at least one way of doing it, where sometimes you'll have that effect with live action cameras. Like if I move my webcam, for example, the background behind me looks like it's moving a bit more than necessarily I am because I'm much closer. That's like one way of doing it. I've seen that in live action stuff, but again, still prefer the pre-rendered version. Anyway, I'm back from the dead, Name's Shy Ronnie, and I'm back from the dead. I don't know. That's for if Bond shows up.
Shit. Speaking of dating I have somewhere to be right now by a...
Once again,
Right now, buyer. Again, if you're gonna do buyer, that's gonna be read literally, but I've exalted that
I'm
point by
being
now.
left alone. What a world. Huh. Isn't that the guy I bumped into?
I mean, that happened moments ago. He could have just not walked away. So yeah, probably him.
Why is he just standing there? Have you been watching us? Where's he going now?
Oh my goodness. So I guess they really have not figured out walking cycles.
See, why is he going into such a sketchy place? Something isn't adding up.
Something isn't adding up. It's a person walking down an alleyway at night. It happens. Get over yourself.
Huh? Fuck.
Oh, this is going into Criminal Minds now. It's the same scenario, except in Criminal Minds, it was actually a tense scene. As much as I've harped on Criminal Minds, it at least gave us a tense scene with the hiding away. But I guess that's because we also saw the chase beforehand. But I might just do films voice acting, series non-voice acted for now, since I'm still learning. Again, yeah, up to you entirely, but just know that that's always an option. And I know that goes doubly for Aiden, and probably also Emily, off the top of my head. Oh, speaking of Aiden, he mentioned the Criminal Minds, and yes, that is that's what I was thinking. Oh my goodness. Oh, and also, what did she say? She said that something isn't adding up because he went down to an alleyway. That's, I don't know.
Quiet.
Oh, I didn't expect to run into anyone here.
You saw a bunch of people, followed one of them, and didn't expect to run into anyone?
I'm just passing through.
Passing through? I noticed you beforehand. Why are you following me?
I was being watched by you, stalker.
That's what you think?
Well, I did, but I don't, I got curious. And ended up here by accident.
Curious, huh? This is no place for curiosity. You should leave.
I would've, but I don't know my way back from here.
You should have stayed put.
Well, I mean, just walk in any direction is probably better than here.
But since you're here, I'll make sure you get out safely. Follow me.
Hey, who the hell are you guys?
Seriously? Are we doing this?
Oh, I thought they were like a gang or something that like that happened to meet up here, but I guess not.
Okay, fuck whatever. Lady, run up the stairs and to your left. I'll take care of...
Okay, I think they were missing some punctuation there. Like after the F-bomb happens, it's meant to be comma whatever, so it doesn't just run as like one continuous clause. That's another thing. AI needs clear punctuation. I system that like for other scripts and such all the time, because even with voice actors, they'll subconsciously interpret punctuation assuming they've paid attention in school, obviously. But AI will not, because it's programmed to only respond to the actual punctuation. Oh my
Care of these
goodness.
two butt lickers.
Did you just call me a butt licker?
Suck it, snowflake.
That's the most real sounding thing, and it's a stock audio.
Hey.
What on earth was... Did he just slide backwards on the car? I'm rewinding that. Look at what happens. So he goes there, so he's going in that direction, right? The car was behind him, so he's going over here. Now he's perched in front of the car, slides backwards with momentum that he conjured from the dark elements, I suppose. Repositions himself and clips inside to the car. Netflix worthy, everyone!
Hey, Aiden. What do we do about the lady?
Oh, and of course he's the one named Aiden. Wait, he got top billing in this. Why was he billed as the main character, despite the fact that clearly the other... I don't know.
Nothing. We do nothing.
So I just did all this work for fucking nothing?
Wait, which lady we be talking about?
This lady, the only lady here, the one in the back, fucking seat.
Oh yeah, right.
What lady?
He could detect someone following him, but that lacks the peripheral vision to see her.
Talking?
Or does he not? He's not making any sound at all, like struggling or something. No. Okay. I guess the AI couldn't go. Ah, Ah, let me go. Help, let me go. Stop kidnapping me.
Out.
Just someone.
Or I guess because she's gagged, I suppose, you know, like, I don't know what that would be. Just like an M sound. Just going, meh, 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 meh.
You must be dreaming because I am certain no woman would be around you if there's not at least 500 meters between y'all.
You know, one other thing that's also an issue with the AI being so monotone is that the expressions with other portrayals actually would have kind of worked. In the Music Freaks, you see like how everyone's expressions like agree, like especially like Jake's friends have very exaggerate facial expressions, if you remember from that series. But that matches their performances because they're kind of caricatures in a sense, or at least very heavy archetypes, if nothing else. So as a result, the actors match that energy and the expressions match the performances. In this case, the expressions are used to replace the lack of performance, and instead of helping it, it actually hinders it because suddenly you have another layer of disparity on top of the already uncanny performance of the AI. Oh my goodness. The AI girl must be rebooting her system in the back seat. Rebooting. Hello, friend Aaron. Bro ain't Jackie Chan. Is it? Yep, that is absolutely true. uh, Rosie Closey herself said that the Music Freaks would be laughed off of Netflix in the same way that High Guardian Spice was. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I can see where the fear comes from. This wouldn't even have a fighting chance.
Ah, the rain. I suppose the autumn has begun.
Ah, the rain. I love the feeling of the water on my human
Been an
face.
interesting day I've had. That girl. There's something about her, but I just can't put my finger on it.
I mean, there's something about her. She just followed you and you had almost no conversation. What about her are you talking? Oh my goodness. Okay, clearly I'm finding that there's like a huge audio delay or streaming delay today. Like the latency is much more of an issue than usual because I said the joke like a long time ago. Okay, so if people are wondering why I haven't read like your comments, it's because I most likely haven't seen them yet.
Seeing her everywhere I went. Honestly, I wouldn't mind if such
I can't tell if the car footage in the background is moving the correct direction or not, whether they could be just reversing at full speed.
It was nice.
No, they're going the right direction, it was hard to tell.
Where is my train? It's late and I'm tired.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't have stalked someone.
I suppose listening to the rain is okay too, though.
Yeah, don't put your umbrella down. You have one of those. Now this lady's just staring at you like, what on earth is she doing?
It's quite calming, really. I've had a crazy day,
Hair.
huh? I kept seeing
Hair.
him everywhere I went.
No, you didn't. You just followed him once. What do you mean everywhere you went? Of course you saw him everywhere you went because you went everywhere he did.
No exceptions. There's just something about him.
Well, except the coffee
that
shop,
makes me
but
not
you know.
mind it if it were to happen again.
Something about him. What on earth? Did Cupid just have an off day or something today? Just starts firing arrows randomly in the sky. My goodness. Cupid really is so dumb.
What are these? And finally, I am home. It's been a long day, but
I am home! Hooray!
a good one. And it's about to get even better.
Also, I could be wrong, but I remember she woke up in bed with someone else, so there's a high chance she has a partner.
I can't wait to see my lovely Owen again.
Who might be called Owen.
Huh? What is this?
Oh, well, speaking of the partner, I guess that problem took care of itself. Infidelity plot point. Naturally. That's how you get... why not just write the character off? Is this gonna like tie into something? Maybe I don't know.
Are you?
Oh, hi, baby. You're home early. It's not what it looks like, I promise.
But Owen, it is what it looks like. It is.
It is what it looks like. This is. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me, Mark. I saw you. I saw you and Lisa. Toying with So was AI acting
I
before it was
can't
cool.
believe you. Why would you do this to me? I don't get it. I've been a good girlfriend, haven't I?
Is he going to say that he was bored as well, the same way that she was? And this is now an excuse for both of them to leave their humdrum lives, and she's going to make some terrible decisions and go back to the alleyway and try to find her beloved Aiden because there's something about him. Is that the plot of this? I guess she has to become psycho in some way because we haven't had a single hint towards that yet.
Not really. Things have been so boring around here, especially since you've been so depressed or whatever.
Oh, and just threw the. Oh, so I guess I was right. He did say he was bored. Cool. I love when I predict things. Owen just threw the woman onto the floor. It's just like, ah,
Dare say
ah, sweetie, yeet. It's not what it looks like. Who are you trying to fool, mister?
that. Just get out.
There was no. Oh, that's another thing as well. There's no sound effects in this apart from. Well, there's no back. There's some background sound effects of the rain, but there should have been like a slap sound or something here. Again, clearly there's an ability to make that audio happen, unless you just happen to have the rain setting like Restream does. But Restream only had that recently, like this rain. Normally you have to do like an extra layer or something. Maybe there's like a this is in the music section. Maybe this is adding to the music. Except there's music on the top of this already, and most or pre-generated music softwares tend to only allow one layer. So maybe not. Anyway, enough rain. They get the point. Where were you when I did this with us? Oh my god, not more chunklers. We deal with enough chunklers when we talk about AFMOUS content. Ugh. And she hasn't even gone back up. Yeah, she's concussed now.
Get out of my house and get out of my life right fucking now.
Jesus, calm down, lady. I'll go.
Yeah, calm down. You're really like raising your voice right now. I can just you're being so hysterical. You know, chill for a bit. The most convincing thing, and it's again stock audio. Oh, okay. I think this might be a little bit of an edit. I don't know. That was the closest we've got to a human voice in the whole video. Well, first of all, let's talk about the pros. Okay, let's talk about the cons now. I'm kidding. If again in the spirit of fairness, there were some things like the intro and the lighting and some of the custom backgrounds that I did actually like in this video. But then again, it seems to go back into like that false trichotomy that I mentioned, where there's like either not so good visuals and a good story, or great visuals and a horrible story. This story was just sort of, I don't know, there was nothing to it really. I guess that's kind of the danger of doing stories that are centered around depressed main characters. By all means, of course, one should do them, but you have to acknowledge that if you're going to go inside the mindset of somebody who sees no prospects for the future, that you're going to have to contrast that in some way, or not have the audience be in that mindset, because a lot of people watch media to escape that mindset in the first place. So it's kind of like a bit of a delicate balance there. There's a film called The Elephant Stood Still, which was by a director called Hugh Bow, that tragically ended his own life shortly after completing the film, and it was about one day in the lives of four people who are particularly downtrodden, and how but the idea, the way that was contrasted, it was how that like everyone's like the day proceeded like in almost in regular time. The film was only like a few hours long, obviously, but it seemed almost to be in like normal time, but would go back and forth between the different stories. And sometimes there'd be like a character who would cross paths with one of them. They were all roughly in the same setting. Uh, talking about like the same trying to escape, and talking about this in the neighboring town, this elephant statue above that stood still that sort of wants to give some of them hope. Some of them try to escape towards it, some of them are unable to do so. That's how you contrast it. You give like the intrigue or something. So in this situation, yeah, I guess you could say, "Oh, I became psycho because I was bored," but really the inciting incident of, just trying to decide to follow a random person, I don't think it was really, like, that warranted. Because especially, like, after just going through an adrenaline-fueled experience, because not that not that I have ever done this, but leaving a restaurant without paying for the food, or leaving for a coffee shop or wherever you are, without paying for what you have bought from there, is an adrenaline rush by definition. Not one that I would encourage, but that is how that compensates, which means that if someone is like that bored or something, maybe that's what emboldened her to go about that. But again, that could kind of come across from a performance, and because of the AI, we just don't see that. So that we don't get a sense of how the emotions change, because as far as we're concerned, there are none. Some of the expressions do try to compensate for that, but they're held back by the voice again. It's just one of those things. I always mention what Disney Plus thing I'm watching in those videos. I'm watching Star vs. the Force of Evil right now, just imagining, if the character of like if like let's say like Star Butterfly, main character of the series, was voiced by an AI like this, but maintained the exact same animation expressions, that would be horrendous for the exact same reason. It would be slightly better because the animation is that good that it actually that kind of like bypasses that. But again, in this video, it seems like no, it seems like there was just so many things that the creator just didn't bother with. They didn't bother with walk cycles. They didn't bother with trying to figure out how the backgrounds should not move from right to left. They didn't bother checking their own script for spelling and punctuation mistakes that an AI is not going to know are mistakes. And they didn't bother finding actual people to make this doing this with in the first place. Most great art is a collaborative effort. There are some outliers, of course. Like Undertale was basically exclusively Toby Fox. But even then, contained references to real life friends like Temmie, for example. So there's like other inspirations out there. I'm sure that Toby Fox had a support system. It was also crowdfunded, so I guess that sort of counts. But in any case, that's like an example of a mostly solo project. Most art is collaborative. You have the actors, you have usually multiple editors, you have the writer and director, usually different people. Gacha is sort of like in the middle ground sometimes, because one person tends to spearhead most of that unless they're actively looking for a bunch of other members, which of course leads into the idea that you don't find enough people. I know for a fact I'm in this Gacha movie right now, which I think I actually do also voice 5 characters in, but it's been in the works since 2020. The creator is amazingly resilient, but has gone through the effort of trying to find animators, uh, for like actual like tweening animators, and then and and multiple editors, lip syncers as a different department, and just an array of different characters, all to make this the best movie that it possibly can be. Which leads into what I said about perfectionism sometimes as well. There is like the oversight of like trying to be too perfect, especially when it's your first major project, which in this case it is. But if anything, I'd prefer it immensely to this situation where it just seems like the person didn't care. I don't know. People are making a chunkler chain in the chat. My goodness. I hope YouTube fixed the issue where it bans accounts for spamming emotes. That was like a few years ago. Let's never watch this again. This is a series, so technically speaking, I could go back to it, but quite honestly, this time, don't really want to. If it gets a lot of views, I might consider it, but on the other hand, with the other series, I'm curious to see how things evolve. Given the direction that the creator seems to want to go in here, I'm not really sure that I should really try, if anything. This was mostly to see if we were actually in trouble, but if AI projects continue to be this level of awful, I say, at least in the gacha sphere of things, the humans shall triumph on this day and for many days to come. So hope you, hope you enjoyed that. You probably didn't. But thank you for suffering through it with me. Please either like or dislike because your opinion matters. Subscribe to us already. Don't check out the video in the description unless, again, not gonna take a stance on that one. But either way, on that note, until next time,